Share. I'm about to share this on my page. That's all we need you to do. We need you to share. We need you to chime in. We need you to spread the word that Good Morning to the Leader You is going down, and we have a special guest with us. You know, we got our co-host with us. Again, we're going to kick this episode off in 2 minutes. So in that time, I'm about to share it onto my page and start tagging some people, letting people know we are kicking this off. For anyone that wants to find us, we are now streaming live on CTR Strategy Solutions page on Facebook. So let me go there myself. Let me share this feed as we get ready to kick this off. Again, that's CTR Strategy Solutions, and you will see the live and up and running. Listen, y'all, you know, last week we started talking about what is your frequency, the law of attraction. Dr. Leroy, listen, you talked about what station are you dialed into? I'm still like tripping on what you said last week about what station are you dialed into? In other words, when we are building our business, what are we dialed into? What are we tuned into? What are we paying attention to? How are we growing our businesses? Listen, y'all, today we have a special guest. We're going to learn more about her business, but we also want to get her perspective of what is your frequency and the law of attraction. Again, we are tuned in right now live on Facebook, CTR Strategy Solutions. We are joined by our co-host. I'm going to bring him on real quick. It is 9:30, and then we're going to introduce our special guest, Dr. Leroy McKenzie. As you all know, he is our co-host for Good Morning to the Leader in You. Dr. Leroy, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Lady Trotter.
Yes.
How are you?
I am good. Listen, Dr.
Well.
Leroy, we still on with the topic of what is your frequency? What's your free now you kicked it off last week talking about what are you dialed into? What gems you want to tell people this morning? When you think about frequency and building a business, what comes to your mind?
Well, this week actually, I'm focusing on building the 21st century company and what that looks like. And today, I did this in my morning motivation video. I talked about client loyalty. So when you talk about what frequency are you on the same frequency as your clients? And I talked about the difference between a client and a customer. A customer is somebody that's just transactional, somebody that, hey, they may come to you once, twice, whatever, a couple of times, something like that, just because they might have heard about you, they might have seen it, somebody might have told them about you. But that client, that client that's loyal to you, they are part of that your business ecosystem. You are the one that they think about when it comes to a product or service. You ever go to a particular grocery store because they got a particular product, a product that you want, and you will only get that product from that store? Or when we talked about last week, what frequency are you dialed into? When you get in your car, what radio station do you turn to? That's going to be the first radio station that you turn to, because you're going to get your groove on when you're listening to that particular radio station, whatever that is. So that's what I'm talking about, the frequency that you're dialed into and creating that client loyalty that you want. Those of us that are loyal to 95.9, we know, hey, we're going to get that old school R&B, those grooves. 92Q, they're going to do what they do. They're going to listen to the hip hop or whatever. The new hip hop, I can't deal with that. If you give me the old hip hop, I'm good with that. But that's the frequency that you want to be on, and creating that client loyalty. So you've got to be on the same frequency if you're going to create that client loyalty.
The client loyalty. It's something else you said that stuck with me, the ecosystem. When you talk about the frequency, it is equivalent to what is your ecosystem. What is your ecosystem to your business culture? What is your ecosystem to your clients, right? Building that client loyalty. Wow. Listen, y'all, for those that's tuned in right now, I need you to share this link. I am about to introduce our guest for this morning. Listen, I met this beautiful queen actually first on Instagram. Let me tell you something. Social media, some people say, I don't know, I want to deal with social media. It's all in how you use social media, right? It's all in how you posture yourself. It's all in what you project. And so I was following this queen's business social media profile. And the one thing that I kept seeing, the first thing was consistency. The second thing that I was seeing was quality service, right? quality service. Consistency was the first thing that leaked out. And then the second thing that leaked out was quality services. So what did CT do? I booked myself an appointment, right? So then when I went to the boutique one, it was just fabulous. I mean, I'm talking about how it's all laid out. If you want a space that you feel like you can just retreat and just have a moment of quiet and serenity that's chic at the same time, then you want to go to So Chic Beauty Bar. Listen, I'm about to introduce Miss Markia Johnson. She is the CEO of So Chic Beauty Bar. Listen, y'all, I'm gonna read this caption that I saw on Instagram. It is the new DMV beauty bar and boutique. Again, the owner is Miss Markia Johnson. Listen, they got brows, nails. She's gonna put all the deets in this interview. I'm not gonna steal her thunder, but it is a one-stop shop. And this past Saturday, Miss Markia, as well as her beauty squad, was with us for the photo shoot day party. We're gonna do a recap on that in a minute. But Miss Markia, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. Listen, one-stop shop, So Chic. First of all, tell everybody, I know I did a little snippet, but you tell everybody the heart and beat as to why you started So Chic.
I started So Chic Beauty Bar because it ties into my passion and my purpose, which is to make women look and feel beautiful. I honestly believe that's why God put me on this planet, because all of my gifts, my talents all surround women, even is going as far as women empowerment. So that's why I began it. I wanted to create a beauty bar where all women could come and have almost like a one-stop shop experience. They don't have to go east side, west side, south side, north side to get all these beauty services done. I wanted to house all of the beauty services and all of my talents in one location. And that it's been perfect since.
And so you want to empower women, but you're doing it in a fashionably chic way, right? So it's not just that you are empowering them, you're raising a level, you're raising the bar. Because when I came into your boutique, one, it was clean, it was inviting, right? The color scheme, and I'm mentioning all of this because when we talk about what is your frequency, and then Dr. Leroy talked about the ecosystem, you've created an ecosystem at the boutique. You've created an environment. Talk about why that was so significant for you.
Yes, I was very strategic, and thank you for pointing that out. I was very strategic in my color scheme. I was very strategic with the layout, how I wanted to present my business. And when we talk about the law of attraction, all of that, I wanted to create an environment and have a certain energy in that space that's conducive to the experience that I want to give to my clients. I want them to walk away just the way you felt. I want them to come in and feel like they can decompress in my space. I want them to feel inviting. I want them to feel calm and at ease, because a lot of the women that I serve, you know, they're coming from work. A lot of them may be stay-at-home moms. This is the only time they have to themselves that they can actually practice some self-care. Some of them are, you know, have had rough days at work, and I often give what I call a quiet appointment. If you don't want me to talk, if you've had a day, phones have been ringing, people have been talking to you, I light a candle, we play soft music, jazz music. It's a whole vibe, as they say. And that's the kind of feeling I want all of my clients to walk away with when they come to our beauty bar.
And so you created, you've created your own ecosystem at So Chic. You've created the frequency. So when people walk in there, because I know when I went, the tone was already set. So you got to ask yourself, for anyone that's watching now, that's going to be watching later, you might be listening later. When you think about building your business, what tone are you setting? Dr. Leroy, what do you say about that when you're setting the tone to your business? What are your thoughts on that?
No, absolutely. That's the beginning part of it. When you talked about how you initially met Markia on the internet, on Instagram, on social media, that set her tone. That sets the tone for folks that will see her in that realm. And then you went from that to actually going into the boutique. And even the aura, if you will, set the tone for the experience that you were going to get. And as you can see, she's tuned into it because she took the time to sit down and map out what that looks like. Because I'm sure she's probably said, you know what, she had that prior to maybe her having her business. She knew what she wanted when she went into a boutique. So she's saying, hey, I want to give the women that come into this boutique the same experience. And I'll give you real quick. I went to this entrepreneurship conference years ago, and this was maybe back in 2012. Never forget it. But the experience that I got because of the keynote speaker was Dr. Cindy Trim. Never forgot it. It set the tone for everything that I try to do as far as like just our podcast, everything that I do because of what she gave. I was like, I want people to have that experience that I had whenever they deal with JNF Enterprise, whenever they deal with me, I want them to come away with that kind of experience. And I can see that's what she gave you.
Yeah.
When you came away from that experience, was like, yeah, and here's the thing, Catherine, you're going to go back because you want that experience again and again and again. And you even tell other women, hey, y'all need to go here to be able to get that experience. So
yeah, well, and I think that sums up what the law of attraction is. Again, for those that's just tuning in now, all month long, we're talking about what is your frequency and the law of attraction. And so we have our special guest with us today, Miss Markia, CEO of So Chic Beauty Bar. And so when we talk about the law of attraction, I think this is a perfect example. I saw it on Instagram. I saw her page. I saw her content. It drew me in. I was attracted to what I saw. Then I booked the appointment. I went to the appointment, not only one time, but I had a second appointment. And then we did business together. That is an example of the law of attraction. So as you're building business, is what you're doing attracting people into your space, and is it creating partnerships? Miss Markia, talk about, what do you think about partnerships, and why is that significant as you build your business?
I think that's incredibly important to have partnerships. I believe having those connections, is, as they always say, the popular cliche, it's not in what you know, it's in who you know. And those connections can put you in a lot of good spaces. I mean, it can open many doors for you. And like they always say, you don't have another chance to make a first impression. Those first impressions are usually made within those first few seconds when they walk in that door, the greeting, the warmness that they feel, the energy. And I come from a customer service background, so I knew that was incredibly important. I knew that anybody that walked through that door, such as yourself, I didn't even know when you booked the appointment that you were a business strategist. You know, I saw you as a client that wanted a service, but I treat all of my clients because you never know what connections and what partnerships can form out of just one appointment. And I'm grateful for that. Yes.
And I think it's something profound that you said. You treat everyone the same. You never know what can come out of it. And I think, you know, when you build your business from that perspective, just treat everyone in a universal way, because you never know who's watching you. You never know what partnership can form, or if a partnership does not form from that person, they can connect you to a person that a partnership can be formed. Miss Markia, talk to us now. You got to break down y'all services. Let us know the good details on the buffet of services you offer.
Oh boy, we have a variety of services. We have nails by our nail tech Amber. You can find her nails by Am _ on Instagram. She does acrylic work. She does gel X sets. She does pedicures. We have braids and locks and starter locks with our braid technician, Janaya. She's with Aesthetic Textures on Instagram. We have a new makeup artist, Shy, who does amazing work. As they say, can beat a face. She's Shy the Surgeon on Instagram. She just started with us. She actually did your makeup during the Saturday. We have a wig maker who is also a stylist. She does sew-ins and quick weaves as well. And when I say the quality of her work is amazing, the hair texture, you just don't find at your random beauty store. She actually has a sewing machine in the suite where she actually makes the wigs that the ladies love. I do brows and lashes. So all the beauty services combined is the total package. And then on top of that, not only can you come and get your hair done, not only can you come and get your makeup done, not only can you come and get a wig made and get your nails done and all that good stuff, you can shop in our boutique on the way out the door, because we have a mini boutique with accessories, hats and clothes and all sorts of things that you can take along with you. If it's a special occasion, a date night, come and get glammed up and find something to wear. So I wanted the total thing. Like, I don't want people to have to go anywhere else. I wanted to have it all housed in my location, and people, so far, the feedback that I've been receiving, they absolutely love it. So.
And so in everything that I just heard you say, it
Mhm.
all deals with, again, the law of attraction, because
Yes.
you know the different components of what we as women need. So you said,
Mhm.
you know what, we're gonna just create a buffet of services, and it's gonna be a
Yeah.
one-stop shop. But
Mhm.
not only that, you talked about each of the women that's a part of your team. And I
Yeah.
even think about on Saturday, the team camaraderie with you and the other queens,
Mhm.
and how you promoted them. Y'all cross promoted each other. Let's talk about that. Talk about team building and how you were able to pull your team together, and the significance or the glue that keeps y'all together.
Absolutely. When I was starting out this business, I started out just by myself for a few months in, and I never put up a post requesting people to join my team. And I did that intentionally because during this time I was prayerful about the people that I wanted God to send to me, because I knew it wasn't just about me getting people in there to occupy space. I knew these were people that I wanted to eventually mentor. So literally God put these women in my path, these young ladies in my path. I mean, they were referred to me. Some of them, I just came across their page and we connected. And it's incredible how God just allowed everything just to come together like that. And I'm building the team, I'm mentoring them, I'm promoting their work. And they are very appreciative of that. I kind of have taken all of them under my wing because, again, these are ladies that are just starting out, but they're hungry, they're eager, they're passionate about their craft. And I love that. And what we do, and as you mentioned, we cross promote. If a person comes in and get their nails done, my nail tech Amber will ask them, when's the last time you got your brows done? Or, are you into the lace wig? And then the lady who does the braid says, let me see your nails. When's the last time you got your nails done? We got a nail tech back there. Did you know Amber? Did you meet Amber? We even have a jar at the checkout desk that each person that comes in and gets service, you get a chance to pick out of this jar, and in the jar is a discounted coupon for all of our services. So it's just another way to get people engaged and let them know that we're all here for you. We're all here to serve you, and it's no competition. It's collaboration, and we all are there to support each other, because being in an environment like that helps to inspire one another. In those days where you may have a slow week and your other colleague is working hard, it inspires you to keep going. And then it inspires you, because now we're in this era where everybody wants to be their own boss and everybody wants these salon suites. And while that's great on one hand, it hurt the salon culture because everybody is siloed now. There's no sisterhood. Back in the day, we had salons, Black salons, and it was very therapeutic in a way. You could come there and vent, talk about things that were going on. Your beautician was your therapist, and we lost that somewhere when everybody wanted to be this boss chick all of a sudden. And I'm like, that's great. You can still be a boss, but let's not miss out on the sisterhood, because we can do more together. There's power in them. There's power in collaboration. So that's the whole idea that I have behind my team. And they're a talented team of women, and I will always support them. And I told them we're locked in now. So
so that is your ecosystem. That is the glue. That is, you got some love dropping in the chat. Let me get, you got a special shout out, Miss Markia, from Reginald T. Johnson, aka he said, husband. Proud husband. Yes. We want to give some other shout outs for people that's tuning in. We want to give a shout out to Mr. Ronnie Francois. He's in the Baltimore area. If anyone needs credit repair, that is what he specializes in. We also want to give a shout out to Miss Almira. Again, she's tuning in from the PG County area, and she's going to be featured this Saturday, y'all. If y'all are in the DC area, come on through the events on you at 6 p.m. We're having a special Women History Month event called Featuring Women in the District. So she's going to be there. She has a book. She's going to drop some gems. She's going to share a poem with us on Saturday. So we thank everybody for tuning in. Share as we continue with this dialogue. So Miss Markia, you talked about the glue. The glue is that y'all collaborate. And it's not competition, but it's collaboration. So that is your glue. That is how you built your team. Dr. Leroy, talk a little bit about what your perspective is when it talks about building a team, sticking with the law of attraction and building that frequency. How does team building equate?
Well, here's the thing, and I want to catch this before I forget it. but I love what Markia talked about when she talked about her business model, the one-stop shop. And I learned this years ago because I worked for a company called Extended Stay. Worked for a company called Extended Stay and K&G men's store, which was owned by Men's Warehouse. Worked for Men's Warehouses too. But one of the things that I learned about their business model was they had different levels to their business model. And one of the things that made them unique in what they did was people could come and get, all the particular things that they were looking for. And Nakia talked about her team that she has. And when I worked for Men's Warehouse, or when I worked for K&G with the clothing, one of the things that we talked about, or one of the things that was instilled in us, was it wasn't just about somebody, a man coming in and buying a suit. He was coming in to buy a suit. He was coming in to buy a shirt, tie, shoes, the whole outfit versus just a suit. And when you have a team concept, we worked together. It was like, okay, if I'm working with somebody, and one of my other teammates wasn't working with somebody, they would grab a couple things, or they would come in and pitch in and talk about, oh, this looked good or that looked good. And it was never a competition thing. It was all about making sure that the clients that we got were taken care of and got everything that they came in for. And some of the stuff that they didn't even come in for, because they might have thought they didn't have the thought of it until we put the thought in their head. Well, yeah, I do need like she was saying, yeah, I did need a pair of shoes. I do need a new belt. But they hadn't thought about that when they came in. Same thing. But well, I hadn't got my nails done in a minute. It's been a good time. Let me get that done while I'm in here. Or I can buy something else to go, oh, you know what? That hat would go great with this outfit that I got. Those kinds of things. That adds to what it is that you do when you have that one-stop shop concept. Those two companies did it, and Walmart. Walmart is the big model of that one-stop shop. And that's why it works, because people go to Walmart because they can do their food shopping, they can do their clothes shopping, they can do their toiletry shopping. Everything is right there. They don't have to go to this store to get that store to get that. She has it in-house right there. And then that concept allows her to be able to work well with you got to have the right teammates. Got to have the right people with the right mindset, because that doesn't work if you don't have people that have the same mindset, wanting to work together in that kind of, not in a competition thing. I know it's folks out there that will do that. They're more of a competition than a collaboration. And when you can have that collaboration mindset, it makes you and those other individual businesses, it makes them better as well too. So the collaborations are huge. That team concept, working together as a team, is so much more. It makes it so much more better. It creates a healthy work environment. Trust me, having that healthy work environment is crucial. It maximizes the productivity, because if everybody's working, everybody knows that those two things will give you the third thing, which is increasing your bottom line, because everybody wins if everybody's cross promoting everybody.
Yes. Absolutely. We got another shout out. We want to give a shout out to Miss Deanna Moray. We want to thank you for plugging in and tuning into the show. And we do have another comment in the feed by yours truly, Miss Markia, your husband. He says, great point. I want to get everything in one place. Thanks for bringing that point out, because now we're talking about, when we talk about frequency and we talk about the law of attraction, Markia, you have put all the pieces together for people to be attracted to come into your boutique. Talk a little bit. I want you to kind of dive more into the industry though. What changes? You started on that conversation, but you've seen a shift. So talk more about the shift that you've seen and how your company is providing something different and unique now.
Absolutely. So the beauty industry is constantly evolving, and it's actually the one thing that attracts me to it. But what we've seen recently in the last maybe 10 or 15 years, the consumers are now saying, look, we want low maintenance styles. We want to get up and go. We don't want to spend a lot of time in the mirror in the morning. And the industry has accommodated that by providing new services such as permanent makeup, services such as brow tinting, brow lamination, eyelash extensions. We're talking about gel X nails and lace wigs and braids and soft locks. All of those things are just not things that just came about. Those are services that are in response to the consumer's desire to have more of a low maintenance styling, quick services, and longer retention. So what that means for a lot of beauty professionals, a lot of us had to go back and get trained on these new things, these new services and new techniques that are in high demand. Because gone are the days of the every 2-week client that comes in for a wash and set and the roller set. These women are now wanting these other services that provide them the ability to go to the gym and don't have to worry about sweating out your hair because I have a lace wig at home. If I want to wake up in the morning and I have to fill in my brows, I can get my brows tinted. Or if I really want to go far, I can go and get my brows permanently tattooed on, permanent makeup, the micro shading that's going on. I mean, it's just so many things. If I want, if I don't have enough time to spend in the nail shop and get my nails done, I can go and buy customized nail, press on sets and things like that. That's what the new Gel X trend is all about. It gives you a look of acrylic nails, but it's actually press on and it stays on just as long. So what I've seen is the consumer is saying, we value our time. There's a new increased value on time. I want as much time as I can keep. And I don't want to spend a lot of time in the mirror or at the shop. So these services almost like, they're like quick track services to get people, this beauty that they don't have to worry about doing in the morning and don't have to keep coming back in for. Permanent makeup, I don't know if you all know, but if you get your eyebrows micro shaded, that's about 2 to 3 years. That stays 2 to 3 years, so so it gives them the ability to go swimming and not have to worry about their eyebrows running off their face. They can go to the gym and don't have to worry about that, so these are the new trends that are happening. And like I said, they're in high demand, and a lot of beauty professionals, we all had to pivot to learn these new techniques and these new services so that we can still stay on top and be relevant in the industry.
You said a whole lot, and I want to just kind of pick apart some of the things you said. And you dropped in gems. So for those that's watching now, those that's going to be watching later, I want you to share. If you're watching now, share, because Miss Markia is dropping gems. And as you said the word pivot, and in business, when you're building a business, you got to know how to pivot. Why is that significant?
It's absolutely significant because it's an industry that is constantly evolving. We're doing services today, but I can guarantee in the next 2 years, there's going to be new services that we're going to probably have to get trained on, because somebody's going to come in and say, do you do X, Y, and Z? And we're going to be like, no. And then we're going to go back and probably take a class to learn how to do it if it's in high demand. We have to have had to change our service list, our price list, our marketing strategies. I mean, it takes a lot, but it's absolutely necessary, like I said, to stay relevant in this industry. You have to go with what's in high demand. And something someone told me when I was mentored a long time ago, they said, don't overthink it, because your client will always tell you what they want. You just have to listen. You just have to listen. Don't try to create a whole bunch of services. When that client gets in your chair, they will tell you what I need, what kind of services would help my lifestyle. And then you build your business around that, around their desire. Because as long as there's desire, there's also always going to be a lane for you to do what you need to do to get.
What is your frequency? Miss Markia is dropping gems with us this morning. When we talk about what is your frequency with your business, she just shared with us, sometimes we got to pivot in our business. She also shared that when you're connecting with your client, you got to listen to what your client is saying. So even if you're not in the beauty industry, everything she's sharing is transferable knowledge that you can use for whatever business you may have, right? You may have a nonprofit, you may be an author, you may be a speaker, whatever it is that you do, we all got to pivot at some point. We all have to listen to the customers and see what's relevant for the right now. We do have another shout out. We want to give a shout out to Mr. James O. Johnson by way of Baltimore, but he's building his business also in the Florida market. So thank you for tuning in. So again, when we talk about pivoting and adjusting, the frequency is also based on how often or how flexible you are to pivot. Sometimes we can get in a rut and we just don't want to pivot because tradition can kill a business if we're not willing to pivot. Dr. Leroy, talk a little about what your perspective is on the word pivot as it relates to our businesses.
Well, when I think of pivot, I think of shifting. I think of being able to to adjust yourself to what's going on. All of us had to shift and pivot for the pandemic. Everybody. There was nobody that was not forced to be able to adjust. And those that had the ability to be able to do that, they're those businesses that are still around today. For those that may not be paying attention or may have just heard about it, there's in the banking industry, you had that the bank that just closed down this weekend. It's creating this ripple in the banking industry. Don't believe that that's not affecting everybody. So you have to, if you're constantly in tune to what's going on in your industry, but also those outside exteriors that affect or impact your industry, you'll find yourself being able to, to adjust, or being able to pivot, being able to shift to what it is that you need to do. Like you all just mentioned, your clients will tell you
Yes.
what things you need to kind of shift to. There will be. There's an adjustment that goes on in any industry if you're paying attention to it. You'll see technology is always growing. So as a business, as an industry, as an entrepreneur, you should always be growing as well. You should not be, your business should not be the same as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, as it is today. And as it won't be 10 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now. It should not look the same. One of the things that I learned back in college, our dean, he used to always hammer into us, was about the bell curve. He always emphasized to us about being ahead of the bell curve. He said you have people that are ahead of the bell curve, on top of the bell curve, and behind the bell curve. Those of us that are in front of the bell curve are always looking for the shift, because a shift is coming, a pivot is coming, and you want to be able to maneuver so that you're ready for that shift when it comes. You're ready for that pivot, that pivot when it comes around, that you need to do. And if you're constantly in tune to your clients, to your industry, and to your brand, trust me, those shifts, those pivots will come, and you'll be able to ride them almost like riding a motorcycle. You'll be able to tilt to the left, tilt to the right, all of those things that you knew in order to be able to be successful.
Absolutely. We got some more shout outs. We have some more people tuning in. We want to give a shout out to TT Trevana. Thank you for plugging in. We also want to give a shout out to Joseph Taylor. Thank you for plugging in. Yes, as family and friends plugging in, supporting. Also in the chat feed on Facebook, I just dropped the So Chic Beauty Bar link where you can actually go and see all of their services and do a right now booking. You ain't even got to delay. You can click on that link, and I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. You may want to gift it to someone. You may know someone that they just need a So Chic experience and they haven't had that in their life. You can click on that link. I just dropped it in the chat feed on Facebook. Gift it to someone, or you can gift it to yourself. Now, Miss Markia, for those that just tuning in now, those that might be listening or watching later, you shared about your services, but take us through the story. When did you actually start your business again? And talk about your journey for someone that might be watching now and they may be saying, you know what, I don't even know if I can step out there. I don't even know if I have all the resources. Tell everybody when you specifically got started in your journey.
Wow. I'm going to give you the short version of this. I started in the beauty industry at 12 years old. I was the little girl in the neighborhood that was doing every little girl's hair back to school for Easter. I was the little girl in the family who did the cousin's hair and my mom's hair, my grandmom's hair. And that's where it all started. And that passion grew. I was a little girl under the dryer in the hair salon, watching the other ladies in the salon work. And I went home and I practiced on my dolls, and it came so natural. And I became, it was self-taught, and that passion grew. I went to Gordon Phillips Beauty School, did my formal training there. I started working in my first salon as a shampoo girl at Wigs Personal Touch on Bel Air Road. Then I transitioned to Vixen Hair Salon. Shout out to Anjanette Booker, who gave me my first shot in working in the salon. And back then we did not have social media. I didn't have a big portfolio. Yeah. She trusted me and she saw my potential and gave me a booth and allowed me to work there. I transitioned from that to another salon, Victory Hair Salon near Mondawmin on Bentlow. And shout out to Miss Marion, another salon owner who gave me my chance. And I always said, if I ever had a similar type of setup, I wanted to do the same. And that's what I'm doing now for the younger ladies on my team. I'm giving them a chance. And that was so important to me because there's a lot of untapped talent in Baltimore. I didn't go for the girl who had the most followers. I didn't go for the girl who had the best aesthetics on her page. I saw their potential, just like someone saw the potential in me. I formally started, I took a break from the beauty industry, went and worked for Johns Hopkins hospital, did some hospital administration work for 19 years. And somewhere around that the mid 30 age range, I started feeling like I wanted to get back into my passion. I felt like something was missing. I felt unfulfilled. And I miss the salon environment. I miss connecting and building relationship with clients. So I started looking for a space. I started as an online fashion boutique, and I told God, I just want a space. And there was a lot of discouragement that came, a lot of no's, a lot of putting in applications. And as soon as you sent it in, and somebody said, well, oh, somebody just got that yesterday. I got a lot of doors slammed in my face in the beginning, and it was very discouraging. I started to ask God, is it really the time to do this? Or, am I just kind of tripping or something? Yeah. And there was a young man who let me know about a space in a quasi-commercial building. And I was like, I didn't want to even go through another rejection. I kind of waited to even get back with him. He called me back again. Hey, I'm showing it this week. Are you interested? I came up there, and literally the plan that I wrote down on paper, the layout that I wanted, when I walked in there, to anyone else that looked at it, they would have said, girl, are you crazy? But to me, I saw everything that I wanted to do in there, from the suites, the area that I wanted to do the hair, the area that I wanted to put the boutique stuff up. I mean, it literally just came right back to me. And I showed it to my husband, my family and friends. And I'm like, y'all, it matches everything that I want. And literally when people come in now, I have a before and after on my page. It will show you what it looked like before. It's a total transformation. And that was part of my journey. And that's how I've gotten to where I am right now. It's been 3 years, and it's coming up on 3 years in December. And I'm so happy for how far God has brought me in this journey. And at the end of the day, it makes me feel good to know that I'm working in my purpose, that I'm active in it. This is not just about getting money. This is not just about doing beauty services. The women that I connect with, people have come in there heavy, depressed, grieving. They sit in the chair, we talk. And when I hand them that mirror and I see that smile come back on their face, and I see that woman walk out, the one who came in looking depressed and just so dull, and she leaves out looking radiant and feeling beautiful, my job is done. That makes me feel so good. This is the one thing in this world that I would do if I never got paid to do it, is what I'm doing right now. And that's making women look and feel beautiful and empowering them at the same time. It's just what I'm here to do.
Thank you for sharing your heart. For those that's tuned in now, those that's going to tune in later, we heard her heart just now. That's why I wanted Miss Markia to share her journey. She said she was 12 years old when I guess that spark, that passionate love just really started bursting inside of her, and she was going to the salon. Did y'all hear? Because you gotta, when somebody share that journey, you want to hear all the pieces of it. She was going to the salon. She was that girl all in the neighborhood. Easter Sunday, she specifically said, you know what I'm saying? And she was going through the process even at a young age. And so I'm saying something I'm picking this out for a reason. Some of you may be watching now, watching later. Maybe it was a seed planted in you when you was young. And maybe now, we're all adults, we're adulting, and you're like, maybe I don't know if I can do it. I know I had a love, but Miss Markia is reminding us, she even went into the medical industry for a while. But guess what? It was a redirection back to her first love. And sometimes that's how life is. We have a certain track we start on, we detour to it. Not that the detour was bad. She learned principles in that detour.
Yes, I did.
But then she came back, and then a space that maybe to the untrained eye may not have would have got that space, because they might have been like, I don't know about this space. But she's a visionary, so she looked past what she saw. She said she then showed it to her confidants, her family, her husband. Now, who are your confidants that you can share when you're in a transitional place in life? This is what she basically was saying. Her different transitional places in life, right? Where are you in your business? Again, all month long, we're talking about what is your frequency? What is the law of attraction, right? Even as a young child, she was attracted to those salons. She was attracted to the people that was in the industry. It planted a seed. And this is also for us as adults. Who are we planting a seed to the next generation? It was something that, Markia, that you said that spoke to me. You said you didn't look for the people that had a whole bunch of numbers on social media. That's not what you was looking, because in today's society, that's what people are drawn to. But that's not where your eye went. You was looking for the people in their heart intention. And so y'all, when we talk about going to So Chic Beauty Bar, yes, you're going to look beautiful, but it's the experience. You said you took that place and you transformed it. And let me say, she transformed my eyebrows, y'all. Okay, so if y'all need an eyebrow transformation, you need to book your appointment, because some of us, we need to be transformed. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, you working with what you got. But listen, go to Show Chic Beauty Bar and they will help you upgrade. We do have some more shout outs. And then Dr. Lee, we're going to come back to you and we're going to come back to Miss Markia. We want to give a shout out to Miss Peggy Long Hutley. Again, she's a phenomenal. Yes, Peggy tuning in. We want to also give a shout out to Miss Jane Lee Ross. She is a phenomenal business here. She's working with Queens. Actually, on March 26th, she has a fashion show. So go to her page, plug in, and see what she all about, see what is going down. We also want to give a shout out to V Dawes. She just gave some love. So listen, we got so many people that's popping in and showing love this morning. All we ask that you do is hit that little button called share. You know why? Because Miss Markia is dropping gems, but she's dropping it from the heart. She's not just a business owner. She's not just a stylist. She's not, if you hear her heart, it's a reason why she started her business. Dr. Lee, we're talking a little bit about transformation. When you are working with a client, and this is universal for anybody that has a customer base of any kind, maybe you're a consultant, maybe you're a coach, our job is to help transform that person. They're bringing us a problem and we got to have the solution. So Dr. Lee, we're talking about how business owners are supposed to be able to bring transformation in the lives of our clients.
Well, here's the thing, and my mantra is bringing visions to reality. And that's what it is. The concept that your client has for what it is that they want to build. That's what you're there to assist them in being able to do. With Markia, I'm sure her clients, when they sit in that chair, they have an idea of what they might want to look like, and she's bringing that to vision, but reality, by them telling her, and then they like she talked about the clients looking in the mirror, and it's like, whoa. It's like, wow, yeah. You get blown away by that. And even with her, and I love the story you talked about, Markia, walking into that building. And everybody else that walked into that building probably just saw the building as it was. You saw it for what you had already seen. It was just, okay, that's just that this is exactly what I envisioned. And now you look at it and you be like, that's everything that I'd mapped out. I know I'm on the right frequency. I know I'm in the right place for me to be able to do what it is that I do, that you do every day, which is bring those clients' vision to reality when they come in and they want to look a certain way. And when you're finished with them, they can come out, walk out and be like, yeah, she made me look good. She made me look exactly how I wanted to be, wanted to feel. And that's the same thing that we do, whether it's whatever product or service that you have. You want your client to come away with being able to know that what they had in mind, what they wanted, what they came to you for, they actually were able to get that. That's what we go shopping for. We go to the store, whether it's to get a toothpaste or whether it's to buy new clothes, because we have an idea of what it is that we want to look like or what we want to do. And that particular product, that particular service is what we use to be able to bring that to reality. And it's the way that we create that client loyalty that I was talking about. You want to create loyalty, give them that experience where they see, they're able to see what it is that they imagined or that they envisioned, and you now bring that to reality for them. They'll come back again and again and again. They will be loyal to you and only you. Where it's like, hey, I know every week or whatever, however long it is that I'm going to be going. I know when I go to get my hair done, I need my nails done, I need my eyelashes done, I'm going to Miss Markia Johnson, because she gonna hook me up. She gonna do it right. She gonna have me coming out of there looking like what I imagined to be able to look like.
Yeah, we have some more shout outs. We have a Miss Danae Barr that's tuning in. She dropped some emoji hearts. She's loving the show. The shout out to her. She has multiple businesses, so you can also follow her. She just dropped her name in the feed. And then I gotta read this. Where you go? Miss Peggy dropped some in the book. She said, my brows are still on fire. She said, she says, listen here, book your appointment. And then she said, looking like Mommy Markia Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I'm telling you, this episode is powerful. And also with Mr. James Johnson, he just shared with me, he's now in the Orlando area. For anybody that's trying to build in the Orlando area, he's tuning in from Orlando. He's from Baltimore, but tuned in from Orlando, building out there. So follow him. He has a phenomenal nonprofit organization as well. Again, in the chat feed, if you go through it, I dropped the actual link to the Show Chic Beauty Bar, so you can see the buffet of services that they offer. You can just hit that link, hit the book button, treat yourself or treat someone else. Now, Miss Markia, listen, something happened on this past Saturday. Something went down on past Saturday, the photo shoot day party. Listen, So Chic Beauty Bar took over at the SEN studio, and it was a beautiful collaboration. What is your feelings about this past Saturday?
I had a ball. My team and I, we were still talking about it. It was a great event. The music, the vibe, the food, the other business owners that we were able to network and interact with. And for my team, for some of them, this was their first networking event. So they were kind of like, you know, this actually exposed them to a whole new level of business networking. And I think that was just a great experience for them. But we always have a great time, you know, anytime that we're able to do any kind of thing that make women look and feel their best, and, you know, and just, I absolutely love it. That's my lane right there. I was totally in my zone, as they say. And I love it.
And the vibes was good. So listen, I'm pointing this out because you may have a business organization, you may have an upcoming event, and you may want to spice your event up, right? I highly recommend reaching out to Miss Markia, you know, have a meeting, see if it makes sense to connect. I know it makes sense for ours, and maybe some other photographers out there, and you may not have a specific go-to beauty bar to collaborate with. So if you're a photographer, if you're in the videography industry, which those time, you know, two really coincide together, I highly recommend to reach out to Miss Markia, So Chic Beauty Bar, to implement that into your upcoming event. Or if you have a private booking and you need something for your client, make it happen, because you won't have to go anywhere else. Listen, we had ladies that came on Saturday that's about to start a podcast show. They came and got their eyebrows transformed, then did a headshot that they're going to use for their podcast. So again, if you're doing any type of event where this makes sense and to integrate, it just levels up your event. We also have another shout out we want to give for someone that's tuning in. We want to give a shout out to Miss Janelle Broadway. So again, thank you so much for tuning in. We got family and friends coming on, supporting. Hit that share. Hit that share. Again, even once this episode is done, this will stay on Facebook, but it's also going to be uploaded onto YouTube. It's also going to be loaded up onto iHeart Podcast as well as Spotify. So there will be other links that you can share this interview. Again, share this with other budding entrepreneurs that might be in that place in their life that say, well, I want to start my business, but I'm not sure. I want to start my business, but I don't have all the resources. I want to start my business, but I just don't know. Miss Markia, what are some 3 tips that you can share that you feel that helped you, that can help someone else that's watching now or watching later?
First and foremost, my faith is of utmost importance to me. You have to pray. You have to believe God. You have to do what the Bible says in Habakkuk, write that vision and make it plain. I literally still have that piece of paper, and I'm thinking about mounting it at some point in my beauty bar. The same piece of paper that I drafted, the layout and everything, I still have that with every area already, you know, identified where I wanted to put things. I literally wrote everything out, wrote it the way I wanted it to look, the color scheme and everything, every inch in detail, and I prayed over it. And I just waited for God to manifest it and bring it to fruition for me. The other 3 tips, that one is faith. I would definitely recommend you need a support system. Now, here's the thing with the support system that dropped into my spirit. It was just earlier this week. Sometimes we focus too much on who's in our cheerleading section. It's a known fact when you start a business, you're not always going to get the support from family and friends as you might imagine. But God just reminded me, don't focus on who's holding the pom-poms. Don't focus who's in the cheerleading section and in the bleachers. As long as God is your coach, and he is calling those plays, you are guaranteed to win. As long as you're on the right team, you're going to win regardless. So don't worry about who's sharing and who's liking and who's commenting and who's coming. Don't worry about that. As long as you're on the winning team, that's all you have to, that should be your only concern. Yeah. And lastly, I think consistency, as you mentioned, Catherine, even on those days where you don't feel like getting up and doing it, even on those days where it might be a slow week, you might have had cancellations, and God knows we have cancellations and no-shows. Let me not fool you. It's been plenty of times we sit in there and you know what, and we'll say, you know what, Amber may say, okay, I have a client who canceled. Well, I'm going to go ahead and make some press on sets. You make the most of your time. If I have a cancellation, that's time for me to work on some content. I never, whatever time that you miss in that, I feel like you should always designate it to be for something else. Don't ever, look at it as a bad thing, because that's just extra time for you to work on something else for your business. And stay in their face, stay consistent and give them, I think for me, it was important to also give my clients a first-time client experience every time. I think sometimes as stylists and beauty professionals, we get too familiar, we get too comfortable. We give them that first dose of, oh, hi, new client, and you're doing all those beautiful things and accommodating them and making them feel so welcome. And then it sort of declines. So I tell my team, we give them a first-time customer experience every time they walk through that door. We give them, we ask them, do they want any water? Would you like something to drink? Would you like a warm blanket? Would you like a quiet appointment? Have you had a stressful day and you just want something very quiet and soothing and relaxing? We give them that every time. That's our goal. That's what we strive to do. And again, and do it in a consistent way. And that's my 3. Yeah. I can go on and on, but I can't summarize that.
No, that's perfect. And I just dropped in the chat what you just said, first time customer experience every time. And I can speak to that because when I went, because I'm anemic, I get a little cold. And she noticed that. She said, you want a blanket? And she pulled out the blanket. I've never experienced. So when we talk about customer service, it's real. She's not just saying it. I personally can testify to that. And we got somebody that just dropped a comment in the feed. It says the customer service is 100. Absolutely. And that was from Janelle. It is 100. And they they pay attention to the needs of the person, right? And so it was so many things that you said: faith, trust in God, don't worrying about all the likes or the numbers or whatever, because social media has its place, but that's not the end all and be all. And so the consistency is important, staying consistent. And again, for those that's watching now, watching later, or may just listen to the audio on Spotify, know that whatever business industry that you're in, a lot of the things she's sharing is transferable, because we all have customers. And in industry, when you get that first time person, people want to do the bells and whistles, but then it as she said, decline. So she just told us all, no matter what industry we're in, make sure, I'm gonna read it again, the first time customer experience needs to be every time. And that is how, guess what, we're going back to our core topic. When we talk about the frequency and the law of attraction, that is how you're going to keep people attracted to your business, because every single time you see them, every single time you offer a service, whatever that service may be, it's going to feel like the very first time. That is how you keep people attracted to your business. Dr. Leroy, any comments on anything we just shared?
No, I love the word consistency. That's the key to. You look at any successful business, look at any successful entrepreneur. I promise you, the one line that goes across all of them is they are consistent at what they do. They are consistent with their service. They're consistent with their product. They're consistent with giving you the experience that they want to get. Every time you go into Chick-fil-A, you're going to get the same experience. You're going to get the same product. You're going to get the same service. When you think about your business as entrepreneurs, the one thing that you want to be able to do, make sure that your business is rooted, grounded in being consistent. And like Markia said, doing it when you don't even feel like doing it. That's the key to it, because there are going to be days where you just like, I just don't have it today. I just don't have it today, but I still got to give it. I still got to do it. Michael Jordan, I know I'm always talking about sports analogies or whatever. When he was in the finals, he had a 104 temperature, had the flu, still dropped 42.
Yes.
Still dropped 42. He still showed up. He could have easily said, fellas, I ain't got it today. Could have easily just said that. But he was just like, nah, I know that these my teammates are depending on me. The fans maybe even depending on me as well. So I've got to show up. And I'm not just going to show up. I want to show up and still give them, as you all were saying, giving them that first time experience every single time. That's what you do. So remain consistent.
Remain consistent. And you brought out something else that she mentioned, that let's say if the nail tech had downtime, or whomever has downtime, they use that for good use. They use that downtime for productivity. And that's anybody in any industry that you're in. If you have some downtime, maybe somebody called out, canceled, oh, it's not the week for me, push me to 2-3 months down, whatever. We all experience that in every industry, but it was something Miss Markia said. Use your time wisely. So the question we have to ask ourselves for this month of March, here's why we got to ask ourselves that. Come April 1st is the second quarter, y'all. Then it's going to be 9 months left of the year. What are we going to birth in the last 9 months of this year in our businesses? We don't have time to play. If we got a cancellation, if we got a no-show, if we got a whatever, how are we using that gap? How are we filling in the gap, right?
Yeah.
The law of intention, the law of attraction, the what is your frequency? What are you dialed into? What are you tuned into? Listen, this has been a powerful podcast. Miss Markia, I know I dropped your link in the feed, but any other contact information you want to plug?
I think you have it all there, but definitely if you want to reach out to me, DM me on @Chic_beauty bar. You can reach out to me that way, and I'm very responsive. I'll get right back with you. Yes.
Yeah, and I can testify to that too, because when I DM saying I want to book an appointment, she was like, cool. When I DM that I made the appointment, she responds. So everything she's saying, because I can speak to, because I went through it. And for those that have went through it, I like Miss Janelle, because she dropped in information that she can attest to that too. You know what I'm saying? That you are who you say you are. That's just the bottom line. And then we got Reginald drop saying, he said, thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. Again, even when this episode is done, you know what we can do, y'all? Hit that share button, because with Good Morning to the Leader and You, our whole goal is to showcase business owners that not only just have a business, not only just have a product or service, but are showing their heart and sharing their journey, because we're all in different places. And so every time we bring someone on, we hope that it was something to inspire you, motivate you to keep going, no matter where you are, no matter if you feel you don't have it all. Today is a brand new day. Keep pushing forward. We got 3 weeks left of this month. Markia, we're going to give you the final word, and we're going to let Dr. Leroy close us out.
I just want to thank you, and both of you, Mr. Leroy, Dr. Leroy, and Catherine. Thank you so much for the opportunity today just to promote my business. I've been excited all weekend, and then hearing that you wanted to do this podcast, it was just like the icing on the cake. So I really do appreciate that. We're looking forward to doing more partnerships, more collaboration. We want to sponsor a young lady for the upcoming prom season, maybe an inner city young lady who may not have the finances to get her hair and her makeup and nails done. So we definitely want to take care of that. And we will be tapping into the bridal market very soon as well. We are going to be working on some 2023 brides. So if you're listening, or you know someone who's getting married, please send them our way. We have an introductory package price that we're going to do. And we are a mobile glam squad. We come to you, or you can come to us. So let's work. Let's keep pushing.
Do y'all notice what Miss Markia just did? She just gave y'all a sneak preview of what's coming. You know how like a movie about to come out and they show you the trailer? So Miss Markia just gave us a trailer to what's coming next with So Chic Beauty Bar. Better catch the wave, catch the wave. She said you can come to her, or she can come to y'all because she is mobile. Dr. Leroy, any final words?
No, I love that, Markia. Collaborations and partnerships, moving that, building that business ecosystem, y'all. Entrepreneurs, you've got to do that. If you don't do anything else, understand how to build that business ecosystem. That's how you can have a Fortune 500 company that started off as a small business become a Fortune 500 company. They built that business ecosystem. This has been a phenomenal conversation. I hope that the entrepreneurs are listening. Hope that they took some notes on what we talked about today, because these principles that were given to you all today will assist you being able to build that business, to be able to get on the frequency that you need to be on, and attract those to attract those clients that you want. Not just customers, because anybody can get customers, but you want clients. You want that loyalty. You want those folks that the first person that they think about when they think about your product or your service, they thinking about you. When they think about a product or service, they're thinking about you. I gotta go to Miss Markia. That's the only one. That's the only option I got. If she booked, all right, well, when can I get in? We're gonna have to make this happen. That's how loyal you want your clients to be.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's what that attraction is all about. So I'll leave us with that this morning.
And plug your contact information, social, website. What do you want to plug? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And I'll just use the my link tree. You can go to http://link linktr.ee/JNF Enterprises. It has all of my social media handles. It has my Instagram, my Facebook, Twitter, YouTube channel as well. All of those places that you can reach me. You can check out the products and services that we have, and be able to bring that vision to reality.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
We have a couple more shout outs for those that just tuned in. Once we finish, you can go back, listen, you can get all the gems, just go back and hit that replay. But we do have a Miss Mary Clark that just tuned in. We also have, yes, most family. Yes, we also have Miss Violicia Toll, CEO of Fashionably Chic Tour. She was with us this past Saturday. She had an eyebrow transformation as well. She helped with the fashion piece. And then we have Mr. James Johnson dropped a comment. He said, great show. He enjoyed the show, building goals on biblical goals. Stay consistent. Those are my takeaways, and so much more, he says. And again, he's from Baltimore, but now in the Orlando area, building his business, building his nonprofit. So if any of you want to plug in, and actually he has a show that airs, it's called the Black Unity Show, and it airs at 12 noon. So if you're in the chat feed, you can just click on his name, send him a friend request, and you can get all that good details on his show. My website is simply my first and last name, CatherineTrotter.com. What we got coming up this week, listen, if you're in the DC area, March 18th is our Women's History event. We're celebrating women in the district. It's going to be at Events on You. The address is 1354 U Street. Northwest is considered Uptown DC. It's all going down at 6 p.m. We have live performances. We have speakers. We have food. It's going to be flat out awesome. You don't want to miss it. If you're in the DC or surrounding areas, it all goes down Saturday at 6 p.m. Then next Monday, for those that need some business development, listen, I have a virtual webinar, and it's all going down in the evening at 6 p.m. So don't matter where you are, you can plug in. Go to my website, CatherineTrotter.com, for more information, or you can click on my link tree in Facebook and you can RSVP. It is complimentary, and that is going to be on March the 20th. Listen, everybody that follows our page know I always like to close out by saying, we're going to see you at the top. See you next week.
All right.
See you.
Bye-bye, everybody. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you again.